Yo guys, we're here to start another episode of our Bet and Career Mode on FIFA 18. Kicking off today's episode with another training session, just going quickly through that. As you see here, we go in with our first game against Sheffield United. Should be a good game. Like the team, they've got some good players. One player that I definitely would like is John Fleck in the midfield. I reckon he's a solid player in the midfield. I've liked him in previous FIFAs, and I reckon he'd be a good signing for us as well. I think is well, like I say, he's just a solid midfielder, and we need to get out the team more in this January transfer window anyway. So maybe he's a player we can look into trying to sign. As you see, we come into here with our first attack of the game, smashing the shot at an awkward angle, but unluckily Cogler puts the ball wide of the post. The right back trying to get another goal for us. He's played very well so far since he's joined the side. Very dangerous down that right hand side, playing absolute brilliant football, and he's defending very well as well. So it's always a bonus when you can get a right back or a wing back of any kind that will come forward and defend very well. As you see, they come forward here, but we turn the ball behind for a corner. Like I was saying, with the right back, he should be a key player to our season at the moment, and he's playing very well. But they, from that corner, keep the ball, still keeping the ball, trying to find some space, but it does go out after they try and cross the ball for another corner. As you see, Cogler's shot again. Just recapping that shot, but from that corner nothing actually came from it. As you see, they do come forward again on the ball, trying to find that space down the right hand side, their right hand side, and nothing comes from that cross, but they do actually keep the ball, and I don't know what that shot was. Really should have done a hell of a lot better there. Tried to take a first time shot when he really didn't have to. If anything, he probably should have played it back into the box, but didn't, and luckily for us it stays at 0-0 up until that point anyway. As we come forward on the ball trying to find that space, and they had a very solid defence, but we do find an opening, and it was in fact our first real attack of the game, provided us with our first goal of the game, and it was Darren Bent to score it, who Bent and Akins this season, and like I said in the last episode, they haven't been getting the most goals combined, singularly, but combined they're racking up the goals between them and playing very well together. They've got very good link-up play, which I'm really liking at the minute, because it's like they seem to really play well with each other. I've got certain players that I normally like to link up between, like maybe a tall player and a short player, and I guess that kind of fits into it a little bit, but not properly. But I really do like playing with them at the moment, as they come forward, try and take a shot, but Blackman, with a great save there, turns it wide. Another player that's playing very well this season, another new signing as well, so it tells me I'm doing at least something right. As you see here, coming from on to the second half, straight from kickoff, we try and extend the lead by coming forward, finding some space. We just take a time, switch ball there, right out to Cogler. It was a brilliantly weighted pass to find the man, who then passes it into the middle of the pitch. Akins passes it on, and Bent somehow wriggles through everyone there and puts the ball wide of the post. Brilliant play there from Bent. Probably should have done better there. I definitely should have done better there, to be honest. I probably should have chipped the shot instead of just trying to take a normal shot. If I'd chipped it, then maybe it would have worked, but unluckily it didn't, and it remains at 1-0. As here, they concede a free kick just outside the area. It was nothing major at that point, so I didn't bother showing the clip that led up to it. As we come forward straight from that, try and attack down the wing, as we play the ball inside again. Aikens on the ball, turns his man, keeps the ball somehow and passes it off, and again into the top left corner. We make it 2-0, and again it's that man again. It's Darren Bent and Aikens linking up together to provide us with what I'd say at the minute is the perfect duo. If they keep playing like they are playing, then our next season in the Premier League is going to be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Saying that, I didn't even think we were going to get into the Premier League this season, but the fact of how well we're playing at the moment, it'll be a big upset if we don't, because of how many points we are in the lead and everything like that, and how well we are playing. It will take a big lapse in form for us to do anything wrong at this point, as we come forward on the ball again, try and whip the cross in, but unluckily there it gets deflected. As you see, a couple of things about Darren Bent there. Had 4 shots, only with 3 of them on target, and 2 of them ended up in the back of the net. It just shows you how lethal he is at the moment. As we whip the cross in, it's a good shot, but unluckily gets deflected wide. Buxton, also another player playing very well. Like I say, all the players are playing very well, but certain players are standing out for me, like Ben, Aikens, Cogler, Blackman, and there's a couple of defenders that are really doing well. Obviously the midfield is doing very well as well, I'm not saying that, but as you see, we whip the ball in. It's a brilliant header, but unluckily gets saved. It was a very good save at that, because if that wasn't saved, it was a hat-trick for Ben. As you see there, it was a fantastic header to at least even get that on target, to be honest. But again, from that, it does go out for another corner. It's just corner after corner at this point, and we just can't get away from that area of the pitch at this point. And it's probably getting really boring just watching each corner kick getting taken. But here, it does get let out side of the box. Wills takes a touch. He gives it into Ben, who turns his man perfectly, and look at that for a finish. And it's a hat-trick for Darren Bent in this game, and that's literally just the icing on the cake for this match, because how well he was playing. He was getting into some great positions throughout the game, and that was just an ice gem of a finish into the right of the goal, from outside the area to finesse it round the keeper and put it into the back of the net. It's just absolutely unbelievable goal from that man there. And again, like I say, it's a 4-star performance with 3 goals in it. And as you see there, 8 goals this season now for him, playing very well. As you see, he's collecting the match ball, 4 shots and 3 goals. Absolutely unbelievable from the man there. But saying that, I've just thought, I swear it said that he'd already had 4 shots until he had that last shot, which it always confuses me on FIFA whether it actually counts the shots that go in the back of the net. So if any of you guys could let me know about that, then that'll also help. But 4 shots, 3 goals as it says in the stats, even though it turns out it wasn't. But we go into another training session just trying to get them players up in stats. The only reason why I'm putting Davenport in there at the minute is because when he plays in the midfield, he's a really good player, but he hasn't got the overall stats at the moment, and I'm trying to get him upgraded so he can be more in the first team. As you see, a quick glimpse at the league table there. If you want to pause the video and have a look at that, then you're obviously welcome to. See how many points we are actually in the lead by, because I think at this point it's about 10 points, around that area anyways. And obviously going into this game against Brentford should be a difficult game, because they are a very good side, and I swear they were playing really well the other season. I don't know so much about this season. As you see, they come forward on the attack for the first attack of the game, pretty much from kickoff. Is they take a shot there, not straight from kickoff, sorry. yeah, literally this game, up until this shot, there was no chances. It was literally, it was everything in the middle of the park. And then again, they come forward on the ball again, opening up our defence. He turns back, turns my man again, and has a shot, but it's a great save from Blackman. As honestly, I don't know what the defence was doing in this game, and both defences was playing absolutely brilliant football, because literally, like I said, it was literally the game was played in the middle of the park up until these shots. These are literally the only shots we had at this point, and this is pretty much our first chance of the game, proper chance, and it goes wide of the post. But it was a good save from their keeper. But honestly, I really don't know what was going on with this team in this game, because yeah, literally no matter what either team did, it wasn't working. But here, just wanted to show you this quick substitution around a few players, as you'll realise now, as Sordell puts the ball in the back of the net, his first touch of the game, Cummins just off the bench, literally a couple of seconds earlier, runs into the box, they whip the ball in, and it gets straight placed onto his head and placed into the back of the net. And when I talk about super subs, he is the definition of super sub at this side at the moment, because honestly, he isn't a first team player at this point, but he is really trying to get into that first team because of how many goals he's came off the bench and scored. He's using his pace and his strength clearly. I always thought it was just pace, but he was using his strength as well in that attack, as they come forward on one last attack at the end of the game. But Blackman makes a great save to turn it wide. It was a nice. They opened the defence up really well in the chances they did, but honestly, there wasn't many chances where either team opened the defence and actually made it count, until literally that shot from Sordell is literally the only thing that was actually really exciting in this game. As you see, they have one last attempt, and it was just a miserable header, to be honest. It just goes straight into Blackman's hands, and that was the end of the game. It does finish 1-0, and literally, I'll tell you this now. I looked at some of the stats after this game, I think it was, and he had one, Sordell, when he came on, he had that one shot. As you see here, he had one shot, one goal. That one shot that went into the back of the net was his only touch throughout the game. Obviously, you saw the substitute when he came on, and literally seconds later put it into the back of the net, and he literally didn't have another touch on the ball throughout the rest of the game. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of time left, but even so, for your one and only touch of the game, how much of an impact that made here was unreal. As you see, we are in fact 10 points in front at the top of the table. We're on 43, QPR are in 33 points, and QPR isn't a team I'd exactly say that they were going to be at the top of the table at the beginning of the season either, which really surprises. And Sunderland, I thought, would be up there, but I believe in real football they ain't doing too well this season, but I'm not actually too sure about that. As we come forward on the first attack of the game, we are actually playing Varney. We had a couple of changes round in the side, not many. Varney was one of them. As you see, a few minutes in, he tries to get straight into the action. And one stat about Varney I do want to give: every game he's played so far, he's scored in. Obviously, up until this game, as we don't know yet. But yeah, the two games he's played before, he's actually scored in both, which is unbelievable. As we whip the cross in, and guess who it is? It's Luke Varney on the end of the cross, and he keeps up his 100% record of scoring in every game he has played in this season so far. Honestly, I don't really like playing him that much, because he is quite old. I think he's like 35. Even though that ain't old as such, it's old in football in terms, because you start obviously lacking in stamina and stuff, and that's why I can't play him in many games. else I would play him in a lot more. And as you see there, he scored 3 from 3 games now. That is unbelievable play. For a 35-year-old, he has been complaining a couple of times about letting me play him in games, but it's his stamina. That's the only thing that I've struggled with playing him in. Else I'd probably play him in a lot more games, but he's proving one of them players that is like a super sub, but he isn't at the same time. As we come forward on the attack here, and another goal, another header, and guess it is that man again. It's Luke Varney on the end of the cross. 2 headers, 2 goals is unbelievable. At half time, we make it 2-0 on literally the last seconds of the half. Whips the ball in, and it was a brilliant header. Goalkeeper probably should have done better, but I don't care because he's in the back of the net and it's 2-0. Varney, honestly, I'm going to say this now. At this point, he was the only one doing anything in this match. The rest of the team were playing well, but he was the only one actually doing anything when it came to creating chances as such. As you see Miller on the ball here, we knock the ball around a bit on the edge of the area, just trying to find that space. Ruddock on the edge of the area passes it to Miller, who gives it out wide to your man. He crosses the ball in, and Boyce gets his head on it this time. And I honestly thought when he got his head on that, it was going to be 3 goals from 3 headers. But unluckily, it does go wide at the end of the half. It does end 2-0. And it should have probably been 3 if Boyce had finished that off. As we come forward to start the second half, and Miller gets into some brilliant space and finishes it to make it 3-0 against Sunderland. One team that I didn't think I would even have a chance of winning against this season, to be honest. Because with FIFA, even if a team that is come down isn't playing very well in real life, they seem to do really well on FIFA still. But honestly, it's proven me wrong here, because 3-0 against Sunderland. I was sad when Sunderland went down because they've always been there, but I ain't really that bothered. But even so, it's given an easier game than maybe some of the teams that have gone up last season. So 3-0 is how it is, and Miller again getting on the score sheet. He's playing very well. As we pass the ball in, Boyce lays it off, and Varney somehow puts that over the bar. Honestly, at this point, I was literally just going all out to try and get Varney his hat-trick, because I probably could have took the defence on with Boyce there, but that chance, it seemed so much easier to lay it off to Varney, but unluckily it doesn't actually go in. As Boyce has the ball here, he lays it back to Varney, unbelievable 1-2, and he is there, and it is another hat-trick. 2 hat-tricks in 2 games for 2 different players, and it just shows how well our strike force is this season, because honestly, the strike force this season, I'm not saying the defence is bad, but the strike force this season is honestly unbelievable. Like, I could play any of the strikers that are actually in our team at the moment, and I know that we ain't going to have a problem with scoring, because every player I decide to play in that striker role, they're scoring goals no matter what, and Varney's doing it for fun in this game as he makes it 4-0. 3 goals for himself. Absolute unbelievable for the 35-year-old to get a hat-trick at that age is unbelievable. But straight from kick-off, they go straight up the pitch and think, I ain't having this. And Ashley Fletcher puts the ball into the back of the net. One player, I actually do really like Ashley Fletcher. And maybe, even though I ain't all for, I know that you guys watching probably won't agree with this signing, but I'm thinking of signing Aidan McGeady in January. I know he's older, but I like making signings that are just different and not always like really young players. I like signing some older players as well. I think it's kind of cool just because you know that even though they are older, you probably ain't going to get a lot out of them. For the season, you are going to use them. If they are good enough, it'll be fun to use. And I like doing stuff like that. As Boyce goes through, he takes the defender on, but it gets saved. But Joe Allen saves the day and puts it in for 5-1. Doesn't really save it because we were 4-1 up and it was the end of the game anyway. But we just add another one, and honestly, Boyce was one of the players in this game. Even though he did fluff a few chances in this game, like that one he should have put in the back of the net. There was another couple that he maybe should have scored, and he probably deserved the goal for how well he was playing, and he assisted Varney on a couple of goals as well. Kind of assisted that goal, I guess, and I believe he assisted Miller's goal as well. He played very, very well, but probably should have done better. As you see Varney walking off with a match ball there, and you see all the team walking off with a smile on their face after a 5-1 victory against Sunderland. This is the end of the game, guys. End of the game and end of the episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you really did like this episode, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and as always, peace.